Well,
oh jeepers. That was a wild film. Took you up and down and all around.
Yeah,
right out to the Moose Lake.
Dude, we've been doing this now for over a year.
Wow.
And this is our 40th episode.
Let's go.
So a couple milestones there.
That's amazing.
Pretty wild. We have 40 episodes, over 40 shorts, and 2 bonus episodes. A trailer reaction and a post-movie in theater reaction.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah. Doing all right. Anything you want to say about that before we move on?
I think we've definitely had our inconsistencies. I definitely had times where I was very busy. So it's too bad that it's not 52 episodes. That means we missed 12 weeks.
Yeah.
If we're on our 40th. But that's pretty good that we did the majority. And most podcasts fail after their 3rd recording. So
yeah,
we're doing better than the majority.
Yeah.
And we're still making no money.
We still only have 39 subscribers on YouTube. So 39 episodes, 39 subscribers. We'll see if we put this one out, if we can get one more subscriber.
It's a 40. Oh, dude, 40 for 40.
That's right, dude.
You have to. That means you have to do 1 million episodes. Son of a biscuit.
I mean, Joe Rogan's on like, what, 3,000?
Yeah.
So you got to put in the hours, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm Bo.
I'm Dan.
And tonight's episode is Fargo, a 1996 crime thriller. Starring Frances McDermott, Steve Buscemi, and I gotta say Marge's character because she was freaking awesome.
That's the main one you said.
No.
Marge? Yeah, Frances Mc...
Oh, I thought that was a dude.
No, Marge. That there's Marge.
Oh. Oh, this guy, William H. Macy's the dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, get wrecked, Francis.
I wasn't really looking at the picture. Yeah, wild ride.
Yeah.
Those crazy, is it called like Upper Midwest? Is that like the region of the United States?
Minnesota?
Yeah, what a wild bunch of people. I feel like the film, we'll get into this in a second, but yeah, quite the interesting film we got into tonight.
I like that.
Yeah, there's things to love about it, for sure. Before we get into that, a couple things we need to touch on. We promised last episode we were going to get into... We've asked the fans to comment on videos and we'd read them on the show, and we're finally going to do it because you know what? We got someone worked up about something we said, so...
We gotta name him too.
We're going to name him?
Yeah, so that he knows...
So, on our short video titled He Got Worked, which was a Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl short we did from our full podcast episode. Basically, the rundown of the clip was Dan was making a case for why... Why don't you go ahead and say it?
Commodore Norrington, while he's not perfect, is a good person. And he gets absolutely destroyed. He gets wrecked by everybody. Everybody takes advantage of him, and he just, takes it. And it's very sad to see because I see him as deserving, one of the most deserving people of a promotion, of Elizabeth, of the reward in the end, and
he gets boned.
He gets absolutely railed.
Yeah. And I totally see your point of view.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at his character and what he's trying to do as far as his duty and being a man and being... Dang, I lost the word, but, having, a goal and a mission in life, he's executing on all cylinders.
Absolutely.
And we had someone that didn't like what we had
Not
to say
just
about
someone. We had Patchwork EXE, which, wow, what a great name. Patchwork. You need to patch your brain.
Okay. Maybe we won't get into berating our listeners. But yeah.
I'm kidding. Patchwork is just a joke.
So Patchwork EXE made a comment to this video. I'm just going to read it. He's just a good little soldier who just gets owned. My man, he's a British naval officer in the 1700s. He does some horrible things in the other movies. Even if you want to be pedantic and only judge him based off of what he does in the first film for the sake of argument, let's break it down. he says Norrington arrests Jack after Jack saves Elizabeth from drowning, and he also, in the same instance, declares Jack the worst pirate he's ever heard of. And later, he insists on hanging Jack even after Jack helps save Port Royal from the cursed pirates. Good little soldier, my arse.
Yeah, dude, that looks like something that he put into AI. I'm not even gonna lie. Honestly, Patchwork, did you use AI? I really want to know if you used AI. Because if you did, I shouldn't have even commented on it.
I didn't know this was going to be our response to this comment, to be honest. Dan's obviously having a night tonight, so yeah. My take on this.
Sorry, I'll calm down. I'll calm down.
My take on this is his points are terrible because, for one, Jack never helped save Port Royal, so I don't know if he's ever actually watched the film recently or at all. But yeah, Dan's making a case that this guy is doing like all the things we already talked about. He's being an assertive, hardworking man. And Dan's saying, yeah, that's a good thing. And he's getting boned for it. And this guy is saying, basically what I see in these words is he's a British naval officer in the 1700s. Like, that's a problem. If you were that thing, then obviously you're a bad person. That you were a white naval officer in the British Army.
Yeah.
Navy, rather.
Yeah.
So that right off the bat is just like, dude, what's your deal? Like, so because we said something positive about a fictional character in a movie, you're going to bring in real history and say that everyone from that era was a bad person?
Yeah, exactly.
That just seems really dumb and silly to comment on a video. But
well, it's interesting because the argument that he uses is that Jack saves Elizabeth, but that he still wants to arrest Jack after that. And literally the line that Commodore Norrington uses, which I think a lot of people would agree with, is one good deed does not redeem a man of a lifetime of sin.
Right. He arrests Jack not because he saves Elizabeth. He arrests Jack because he's a pirate.
Yeah.
And because he's broken the law.
Yeah.
And because he has he's wanted. He's branded as a pirate. He's wanted.
Yeah. And that's what I commented. And I said, Jack was a wanted pirate. You wouldn't arrest him.
Right. Yeah. He came back with some other comments. I'm not trying to be antagonistic to Patchwork or anyone that wants to come on our videos. I'm just saying, if you're going to make an argument, don't make an argument based on occupation in life and their nationality. Anyway, if you'd like to read all the comments that we made on the short, you can see them under.
Make sure you comment on our video so we can roast you next.
This was not meant to be a roasting session. The point of this, if you have a point or a take you want to give, I'm happy to hear it. But this is just a bad take, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Like I said from the very beginning, his whole point about Jack helping save Port Royal never happens, if you've seen the movie. And judging Norrington off of our history / a generalization of our history that everyone from that position and country are a bad person is weird. Anything else you want to hit on that?
Patchwork, I appreciate your comments. I don't agree with you. And I think that you dodged my case very quickly after I made it, but that's fine. How about this, Patchwork EXE? If you see this video, I want you to comment on it, and I want us to set up a Zoom link, okay? A Zoom conversation. And I will debate this live with you, okay? And we'll record it and we'll live stream it on YouTube. What do you say?
That sounds great.
Patchwork. I'll make my whole argument and I will not even touch AI.
A few other comments on here. Guess who just learned how women think? Congrats, dude. Good luck out there.
Yeah, that one was rough.
This one, though, by Raza Dude, I thought was a fun comment. He said, your first watch of the trilogy, you don't like him, referring to Norrington. The second watch, you kind of think he's all right. Your third watch, you're crying at his death saying you deserve better.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I can't wait to watch the other two, because if that's how it goes, then I want to see how that character arcs and where it goes and how I feel about him.
Yep.
So like I said, if you'd love to interact with us on Real Legends Podcast, we'd love to read your comments and takes on our next episode about what you think. Our previous episode was Star Wars, Rogue One.
Yeah.
We made a lot of different arguments and cases for why we liked, loved, and maybe were disappointed in areas. If you have some takes, please comment on it. And otherwise, we're going to jump into a little movie news before we get into Fargo. Okay, we'll make this short. Dan, is there anything you want to say about Angel Studios?
I think it's sad that we as Christians are so fast to just give money to anybody if they just say, "Hey, I'm Christian too." Like, it just shows that like the market for Christian films is so underrepresented that we're willing to give money to pretty much anybody. And we need to be more selective with who we give our money to. Because Angel Studios recently has been exposed to be a little bit like the Hollywood they claim to destroy.
Yeah. Yeah, so reason I wanted to bring this up is because, yeah, I've learned some new things about Angel Studios and their dealings. And I'd suspected them of something odd just because the whole departure with The Chosen in the past and the legal allegations there are the things that transpired legally. But I was kind of excited for some of the shows that they were like Young Washington, and we've talked about him on the show. So I just wanted to say, like, yeah, someone who I thought I might be wanting to get on board with and support is not doing things that I love, and I don't love that. So, other movie news, Dan, I caved and I watched the Christopher Nolan Odyssey trailer.
Dang.
And I just got to say this. This was my actual reaction after watching it, before I've heard anyone else's thoughts, seen anyone else's thoughts or anything. After I watched the trailer, I was like, wow, I've never been more excited for a movie and then seen the trailer and been so underwhelmed. That I was just like, what?
Dang.
That was it? This is going to be the movie? Not super promising.
Dang.
So there's that. Hopefully Christopher Nolan surprises us and he pulls out a banger. But yeah, I just had to share because...
Banger. I hardly know her.
All right. Somebody tie this guy up and get him out of here.
We can call that one guy crazy face.
Jeez. Someone shoot this guy in the face.
Put him in a wood chipper.
Oh my gosh. Okay, on to our initial thoughts of Fargo. All right, Dan. What are your initial thoughts of Fargo?
I like the movie because it has a unique like storytelling, like a way of telling stories, because it seems like you kind of know who the protagonist is. And then maybe you think that you don't know who the protagonist is. And the whole time you're kind of wondering, like, whose story is it? Like, what's actually going on? And then throughout the whole time, like, when things do happen and they're serious, it's also contrasted with this, like, really, like, charming, calm attitude as well.
Yeah.
So it's very fun to watch. I enjoyed the movie. I don't know if I would watch it again just because of things that we'll get into. But I did enjoy watching it.
Yeah, generally I enjoyed watching it. There's some, I mean, it's an R-rated film, and there's some stuff we had to skip over. But yeah, so I'm not a big fan of all R content.
Yeah,
but as far as the story, the characters, yeah, that contrast between the crazy decisions and persons in the movie versus this like fun upper Midwestern calm and
folksy
and warm personalities. It's very interesting, and there's a lot to love with Marge and a couple of the other characters. But I think we're just gonna move into our spoiler thoughts of Fargo.
Let's do it.
If you haven't seen the movie, be warned, we are gonna spoil it.
Yeah, I think the only things that I hated about this movie was the gore and the sex, which is literally why it's rated R. I think that if you had taken out the gore, the shooting, and the 2 sex scenes, this movie would be a really fun movie to watch, like a cool mystery kind of a thing. Well, it's not exactly a mystery because you know exactly what's going on as the audience. But you get to see this character, Marge, who is awesome, and you like love Marge the whole time. And you get to see her kind of crack the case, and it's a lot of fun. I wish that they excluded the sex and the gore, though, because then they could have actually made it PG-13, and I think that it would be much higher in my book if they had got rid of those things. Those are like my 2 big gripes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Starts off with this guy hiring 2 guys to kidnap his wife to get a ransom. And you figure out he's going to have his father-in-law pay the ransom and take half the money. And that's how his whole genius plan of having his wife kidnapped is going to pay off for him.
Right.
And then you just find out more and more that he's got some serious issues with fraud, I guess, and debt.
Yep.
And he needs a lot more money than half of 80,000.
Yeah.
He needs hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
To get out of his predicament, which I never really fully understood the predicament he was in.
No, it never really explains that.
It seems like he may have fudged or lied about like cars and different things and maybe sold them or did different things with them and then embezzled the money maybe.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to get the money to pay it back so it doesn't look like he did anything.
Yeah.
That was kind of my take of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like a scummy Jerry Lundergaard character.
He's a piece of crap. The whole movie, you're watching it and you're just like, this guy. And I think the casting is so perfect because he doesn't look or talk like a criminal at all.
Right.
Like you see Steve Buscemi's character and his little accomplice and you're like, wow, these guys are nasty. These guys are clearly the criminals. They're cussing up a storm. They're whipping out guns. They're talking evil, they're smoking cigarettes in public, they're getting after him for being an hour late, and he shows up and he's like, well, hey there, pal. Oh, sorry, I thought it was 8:30. Oh, look at me, jeez, you know. But he's the one who's trying to literally get them to kidnap his wife.
Yeah.
And that's like, the contrast I was talking about is like, you have him who seems so innocent and so like, oh, folksy, hey, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's doing these like literally horrible things. It's hard for my brain to like understand it.
Yeah. And then he doesn't feel like, it feels like once his wife is kidnapped as well, he's not really concerned about her at all.
Doesn't care at all.
And he's not concerned about the trauma it's causing his son. Like he doesn't even think about him.
No.
He's like, he's so caught up in like whatever he's done to like get himself into a sticky situation with money and fraud that he has just like stopped having any feelings towards his loved ones.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like bleak. It's like, wow, dude, you don't even care that your son's like in his bedroom crying right now.
Yeah.
That his mom got kidnapped.
Yep.
It's wild.
Yeah. And it's insane.
I guess I take from that, like really like I think there's like truth to that though. I think like the more you like go down a dark road and like lie and hide things and commit immoral acts or unethical acts as well, like the more you kind of are shadowed in those things that you don't see the light of other things, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I guess an easy way of looking at it would be like the darker road you travel, the less you see.
That's a great.
The lighter road you travel, the more you see.
Yeah, exactly.
And that lighter road, the more you're aware of like, wow, I need to change things or do things or help people. And the darker road is just all about like what you and what you can feel. And that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fascinating to watch him just literally not care at all as his wife is gone and he like only cares about the money. And then he also like couldn't care less about his father-in-law's business. He like only wants his father-in-law's money. Like that's it.
Yeah. Invest in this cool project and I'll borrow the money though. So like you're not going to invest in it. Actually, I just need you to give me the money and then I'll pay you it back eventually.
Yeah. And the father-in-law, it's very interesting because at the beginning of the movie, you have like a little bit of kind of sympathy for Jerry.
Uh-huh.
Like you're kind of, he's the first character you're introduced to. So the movie, you're typically accustomed to seeing the first person and being like, this is the protagonist. He's the good guy, right?
Yeah.
So then there's that scene at the dinner table where he's talking to his father-in-law and his father-in-law's being a little short with him, being a little curt. And I'm like, okay, like his father-in-law's kind of a dick. But as the movie goes on, you realize his father-in-law is actually like the good guy.
Yeah, he's just like, I mean, yeah, he's a guy that's doing things the right way by the book, and
he's given his son-in-law a job, even though he probably doesn't deserve it. And he talks about how much he loves his grandson. He talks about how much he loves his daughter and how he'll always protect them and keep them safe.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm sure like. Yeah, nobody's perfect, but like, I get what you're saying. Seems like he's maybe a crappy father-in-law, but yeah, he's actually really just a guy doing.
And I'm sure he's seen Jerry's behavior and thought this guy is no good. I got to keep a close eye on him.
Sure.
Doesn't respect him at all, you can tell. No respect.
I don't want you to muck this up, is what he tells him.
Exactly.
Go do the money drop.
Yeah, by the end of it, I was like totally on team father-in-law. He's dope.
Hope you're not that overbearing father-in-law one day.
Dude, that's going to be me. If my daughters marry a freaking schmuck like him.
Just don't let him marry a schmuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. It was interesting when these guys break in to like kidnap his wife. It was kind of like she's just sitting there crocheting, watching TV, and all of a sudden this guy in a ski mask with a crowbar comes, starts looking through her window. It's like, what the freak is he doing? Like,
it's just so casual about
it. He like looks at the next window, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Well, I'm breaking in." Boom, breaks in. She freaks out, and then someone breaks into the front door, and wow, I just like, this is wild. And then, long story short, she goes tumbling down the stairs, and all this madness. And does someone get hurt or injured?
No.
I think she jumps out the window and they're trying to catch her. Anyway,
she falls down the stairs and she's like she's unconscious at the bottom, and then they nab her.
Yeah, I guess like I kind of appreciate the way they did this, because sometimes movies can get so like movie-y that it's like, it's almost like predictable.
Yeah.
But I feel like this movie, I didn't know what was going to happen next.
I completely agree. The scene where they're getting pulled over and he hands him his wallet with the 50 out and he's like, yeah, take care of it. You know, you're sitting there thinking like, yeah, the cop's going to probably take it. He's going to get away.
Right.
Police officer hands him the wallet back and he's like, get out of your car.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what's going to happen? And then the guy in the passenger seat just blows his head off.
Yeah.
That scene was crazy. It's like,
not expecting that.
Oh my, like, yeah, it was completely. And then, the kids driving by and they flip and kills both of them.
Yeah.
Like, the movie goes from being like.
Well, before that, he's picking up the cop body, trying to drag it out of the road.
Yeah.
And part of, with what you're saying, it's like, I would never expected the movie would have had him drag the body and someone drive by and see them in the middle of the act. And it's like,
crazy.
Whoa, this is like, what would you do in that moment?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wild, dude. So insane. And then he flips the car. And then these kids are what? These kids that are there, like 16, 17?
Yeah, teenagers.
And the guy just blasts both. That guy's insane.
Yeah.
The blonde guy.
The cop, I was a little suspect of him. I was like, is he going to do something crazy? Is he going to pull out a gun or something? Or is he going to like... But I just didn't expect it to happen like right there. Because he like shoots the guy while he's like leaning over Steve Buscemi's character.
Yeah.
Buscemi's character. And it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like blood's everywhere.
Yeah. This guy, the blonde guy, Steve Buscemi's partner, looks like Ryan Gosling on crack.
Yeah. Like
in this movie.
Half a foot taller and uglier. Then we get to introduce to our real hero of the movie.
Yes.
When does she come in?
Marge.
Oh, like she's just like in bed and she gets a phone call and she's like, "Oh, I gotta go to work." I was like in my head, I was like, I think I said it. I was like, is she the sheriff? Is she like the boss? And she gets out of bed and her husband's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you some eggs."
They're sweet.
And they're just the sweetest couple.
I love them.
He paints mallards and she's freaking busting criminals and it's
so cute.
Awesome. They're always eating together.
Every scene with her is awesome. And I was going to say this while we were watching it, but I wanted to save this comment for the pod. I think she's another example of an awesome female protagonist. She doesn't walk around telling everybody that she's amazing because she's a woman. She doesn't put men down for being a woman. She's just awesome. Like, she's capable, she's competent, she's smart, she's loving, she's sweet.
Supportive.
She gets her husband some worms. You know, she's excited about him when he gets the 3-cent stamp, even though she just did this like big thing. Like, she's very, very, very selfless. And you love to see it. Like, she's amazing. And she's so smart too. Like, every time she goes somewhere, she's like, "Oh yeah, looks like he did this. Yeah. Oh, and then this." And she's completely right.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. I want to comment again on this. Being supportive and like a cheerleader for your partner. If you're in a traditional relationship where you're the breadwinner and you're going to work and you're trying to make sure that you're providing for your family, like, men need someone to be like, "Yeah, you can do it. You got this. I'm proud of you. Keep going."
Yeah, for sure.
Because she does a really great job at it.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's so sweet.
And she's not even a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. She's dope, dude. I think she's an awesome character. If you want to make an awesome female protagonist, which I would argue she actually is the protagonist, look after Look at Marge Gunderson. She's flipping awesome. She's dope. Every scene with her figuring out all this stuff. The scenes where she's like interrogating people and she's, oh hey, how's it going? I'll just take. Oh, I got a big package here, and she takes a little seat, and she's all happy, and no one expects anything, and then she's just like, so, oh, it'd be a real shame if I found out about this, about the violation of your parole, huh?
Yeah.
You know, she's like this sweet little gumdrop, and she's able to get information out of the frickin' Indian Hulk.
Yeah.
Because she knows exactly like what to say and how to say it to get her way without using strength. It's just purely like using her charm, and it's very cool to watch.
Yeah, and her intellect as well.
Yeah, she's very smart.
Mm-hmm. I want to get through this then, as far as you saying you feel like you know who the protagonist is. And I really don't know. Like, I mean, we're going to have to kind of figure this out and debate it, because
I don't think anyone really has like a big arc per se. I think the movie is a little bit more story focused than it is character focused.
well, I'd say the opposite.
You don't think so?
Well, to me, character focus means it's more like about the characters rather than the story.
I guess we're using different terms, because when I'm saying like a character, it's more about like that specific person's journey. Whereas when I say it's a story, it's more just like things are happening.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Characters are interacting with it as the story goes on. It almost seems like the story is the main character rather than people inside of it.
Yeah,
if you had to put like one person as the main character, though, I think it's Marge.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even, yeah, what you said, like the story is the character. Maybe even just like the setting itself is like a big character and story, or character of the movie.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota.
I was going to say Minnesota is the character here.
Yeah. It's the interesting, the dialect, what would you call it? The accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like the culture and the time period, even. Like the 90s.
I think this movie takes place in 86, actually.
Oh, is that what it takes place?
Yeah.
You're right. 87. Yeah. So, yeah, we're pre-cell phone, pre a lot of technology.
Yep.
The TV shows they're watching. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Just so dumb. But, okay, let's get into this. So, a good way I think we need to fall back onto when we can't maybe see an arc is looking at whose decisions, or not just decisions, their actions are driving the story, driving the action.
It'd probably be, well, I think
definitely Jerry's at the beginning, case for that, where all of his decisions are making things happen.
Well,
so kidnap my wife, and then he's like, "Oh, I can make this deal with my father-in-law where he invests in a company. Let's not kidnap my wife." And he goes back to the Indian guy. He's like, "Hey, tell him I need to get a hold of those guys. Don't kidnap my wife." But then she gets kidnapped anyway. And then he's like, well,
that's what I'd say. I'd argue that he isn't, because the only thing that he does to actually push the story forward is off screen. It's what he says before. He gets them to agree to do it. After that, everything is out of his hands. He's just playing catch up the whole time. He really is. He asks them to kidnap his wife before the movie even starts. He shows up and he says, "You really want us to kidnap your wife?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do."
Right.
So then the ball is rolling, and then he can't do anything after that. We see
some of that, though, where that takes off. Like, if he doesn't go to the meeting on screen that we see, then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? So you can count that as something that's driving the story forward. It's like, okay, kidnap my wife.
Yeah.
Like I was saying. And then the next part is, with that, try to think how the story goes. So they're going to kidnap his wife, but then he's like, oh no, like, I'm pitching this deal to my father-in-law. Hey, what if you invested in this thing and look at it could make some money? And his father's like, no. But then his father's attorney or business partner is like, no, this is a really good deal. We should do it. And so his father-in-law calls him back. He's like, hey, do you have the numbers for this? If it is, we'll invest. And so he's making more action happen there. And then he also is the one that takes the car from his lot and gives it to the kidnappers. And then we come to find out that his father-in-law is going to actually pay $1 million because Jerry's trying to keep everything minus $40,000 of that $1 million. He's going to give $40,000 to the kidnappers. So, but then that goes wrong. And so he's like, shoot, I got to go follow my father-in-law. And he's telling everyone, like, you can't be involved. The kidnappers, or, they only said me. So I think he's doing a lot of things. I'll just make that case right there. Even, I guess, all the way to the end where she's investigating and he takes off and flees to a hotel.
Yeah. She already knows that at that point, though.
Right. But all I'm saying is by him doing that, that just sets more things of like, hey, we got to put a search out for this guy because he's guilty.
Yeah.
If you want to make a case for Marge about her choices and actions,
I think that Jerry makes a lot of actions that are literally inconsequential. He tries to convince his father-in-law to do the deal. His father-in-law ignores him. He tries to meet up with these guys with the money. His father-in-law ignores him. He tries to show up and like save his father-in-law. It doesn't matter. He gets interrogated by Marge. It literally doesn't matter because she's already onto him. She already knows what's going on.
No, she suspects that the car came from there, and he's being suspicious.
Yeah,
but she doesn't have any evidence or reason to like be like, hey, we need to find this guy, or hey, something's going on here. There is a connection to this dealership. I mean, she has suspicions.
I think she knows because I think she knows.
Yeah. Keep going.
She's just playing innocent like she does in the same context that she was doing it with Indian Hulk. Is he was like sitting there like, I don't know what you're talking about, and she just kind of pushes him in the right direction, and she already knows the answers. She just has to kind of push the right buttons, and she does the exact same thing with Jerry. And he sees, and she asks, "Oh, let me talk to this guy." She knows he's dead, and so she said, "Let me talk to him." And so she knows like the buttons that she's pressing, and I think that's what I like a lot about her too. Is like she doesn't just go in there like a guy would and be like, "Tell me where it is," grab him by the neck and kind of push him against the wall and get the information. She's got to be sly and kind of covert, and I would argue that all the conversations that she has with all the different suspects is what drives the story.
Okay, lay it out then for me from the beginning of when she's introduced. Because the first thing she does is answer her phone, then goes to its crime scene.
Yep. Yeah. She sees the dead bodies. She kind of calls it exactly how it is. She comes back. Her deputy comes back and gives her information. And she's like, okay, I guess I'm going to go down there. And then she goes down and she is discovering all the information while she's interrogating people, while she's gathering all the pieces. And the very finale is her showing up to the place that she discovered through all of her different conversations. Through like the Moose Lake thing, she sent out her deputy to go talk about that. She's the one who did that. She then acted on that information. She went and found it. She took the shot. Like,
yeah, I definitely see like she's definitely the hero of the movie, but I think that the problem with her driving the action is whether or not Marge exists in this story or not, a wife still gets kidnapped.
Yeah,
and people get killed.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's the problem that I'm seeing with it. I think we have a case of this being a story about someone we just don't like. And he's like a person that instead of like, he wants something but needs to become something better and like then does it over this course of the movie or story. He is someone that wants something and then just keeps making worse and worse decisions throughout the movie and does like a dip instead of an arc.
Yeah.
And just sinks lower and lower and lower.
It could be true.
Because, yeah, I love Marge, and I think she is the hero of the movie. I just don't think, like, you take her out of the movie, and everything else still happens as far as kidnapping, ransom, grandfather dead, murders, Jerry embezzling money and doing stupid things. All of it still happens.
Yeah.
But you take Jerry out, and it's like, nothing happens.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right. He just doesn't have an arc, and I hate that.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It is lame.
He's a freaking loser. But as we've talked about before in previous podcasts, not every movie is supposed to be a happy ending and a here's how life is happy.
Yep.
Lots of stories are cautionary tales.
Well, I wouldn't say lots, but yeah, some.
And this story is a cautionary tale.
I think so.
Don't lie because once you lie once, you have to lie again.
Yeah.
And those lies will cascade into a never-ending pit of despair. And to dig yourself out, you have to keep pulling people in. It's just horrible.
Tell the truth and change as soon as you possible. If you've messed up or you lied or you've done something dishonest, start telling the truth. As hard as it is or seemingly is, your life will only improve from there, from my experience.
Yep. And it's obvious here. He just keeps lying and keeps doubling down. Whereas if he had just been like, hey, I'm actually in debt. I'm really not doing well. I'm not good at this sales thing, and I need help.
Yeah.
He might have been able to get a job that would have paid him better. His father-in-law might have helped him pay off his debts. His wife would have been supportive.
Right.
Like, things would have been okay.
His wife was very nice and a good woman. And from what we see, and like supporting him and looking out for their son.
Yeah.
And who knows what would happen to father-in-law? Would he, maybe he would have been like, I'll work out a deal with you. I'll help you pay off your debt, but you're going to pay me back.
Mm-hmm.
And then some, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is a moment of like pride and...
It is pride.
And lies, right? Sad. But interesting little tale. Based on a true story, I guess.
Yeah. All the characters are different named and stuff. Except for those that were killed. Those stayed the same, but...
Was there any other big moments that you loved or hated from the movie?
The wood chipper moment was pretty brutal. That was pretty hard to watch. Also, the wife just being like on the floor next to the oven was like, gosh, this is brutal.
Was she dead at that point?
We don't know.
Yeah.
They never said anything.
Yeah. It was a really weird scene when Marge met up with like her high school friend who apparently was having a nervous breakdown in his life.
That was that.
But I think it's just like another element of like, just like, this is real in real life and weird things happen and people are weird and this is a different part of the United States and here's how it is here.
Yeah, I think it shows Marge's character though, because you're able to see her be stern but kind. Yeah. He comes and sits next to her and tries to hit on her and he goes, oh, why don't you go sit back there? And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh no, I just can't see you when you're sitting next to me. Like, she's so diplomatic and clever. Like, instead of, because that situation could have gone, get the hell off me, you sick perv, go over there, right?
Yeah, or I'm leaving.
Yeah, but she's like, oh no, just go over there. I can't see you if you're next to me, Like, it shows that she is hyper aware of social interactions, and that's why she's able to get information out of every single person she talks to.
Yeah.
Which is, again, why I like her so much, because she's so capable.
I was really nervous when she goes to investigate the lake house by herself. I was like, yes. No, man, you're pregnant, and you're Marge, and you're awesome. Don't go get killed.
I was like, call back up, Marge!
But, dude, she pulled it out.
She did.
She's freaking the hero.
Yep, she whipped out her lizard.
Thank heavens for Marge, because she really made this film...
Yeah.
Like, she was the bright spot in the film, the bright star in this dark and dreary Minnesota crime thriller. Bless you, sir.
It is interesting, though, because I think, like, I don't know if it was intentional or if this is how it really happened, but it's such a heavy topic that having it in Minneapolis, Minnesota, made it a lot more palatable, because they give you these brutal, horrible scenes, but then like the next scene is her going, oh hey, yeah, how you doing? Like, and me and you were just laughing. I was like, is this a comedy? Like, these people are hilarious.
Yeah.
So that break of, because it is a heavy subject, I think that break also works really well.
It is, yeah, interesting how that helps relieve some of it not being just such like a hardcore dark film.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're just like heart's thumping the whole time, or you're just like sweating, or just like, oh wow, this is dark. Yeah, that ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Is interesting. For sure.
Yep. I think that it's probably a legend. I would say it's maybe on the cusp between the two. Again, I don't know if I would like super want to watch it again or like recommend it to people just because of the gore and the sex. Like, I don't love those. Take those out, I'd give it a legend, honestly, like easily.
I think Marge is a legend for sure.
Yeah.
And Yeah, man, that's a tough one. I won't say it's a letdown. I think if I had to,
Definitely not.
it has to fall on legend for me almost by default, just because I don't think it's a letdown. Like
It's
this movie
definitely
is like
not a
it's just
yeah.
so interesting, and like the like we talked about, Minnesota and the culture is such a character of the whole film that it's like, wow, this is just fun to be here.
Yeah,
Apart from
exactly.
the sexual and dark stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. Let's score it out then.
I think I'm gonna give it I want to give it like a 7.75 because I can't give it a 7.5, but I can't give it an 8 either. But I
Wait,
will
you
have.
can't give it either a 7.5 or 7? Oh, because you can't go that low.
Yeah,
that
I
high?
can't go that low as 7.5, and
Really? Hmm.
I can't go as high as 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I gave Hail Mary a 7.5, and I liked this more than Hail Mary. But I also gave like Nacho Libre an 8.5, and I like Nacho Libre way better than I like this. I think 7.5. If you get rid of the sex and the violence, I mean not the violence but the gore, I'd give it an 8. So 7.5.
Okay. I think I'm gonna fall 7 on this. Things to love about it, but and man, yeah, like I think if I'm with you there, if there was no sex scenes, I could see myself enjoying this movie like once a year, just because it's like the characters are just so fun and
Yeah.
warm that it's like and it's so short. It's like a 90-minute film. Like,
Yeah.
I could see myself throwing this on in the winter and be like, old Fargo.
What the heck?
But
Why not?
yeah, that part of it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Amen.
Fun movie though. That's 40 episodes for us. Real Legends. If you haven't checked us out on Real Legends Movie Podcast on YouTube, please do come interact with us. We promise to have some good interactions with you. We want it to be more of like, hey, this is my take, and then just have a fun time responding to it rather than like getting into a debate with people. But we will also debate you, apparently, says Dan. So look out for that. And check us out on Instagram at real.legends.pod. Anything you do to help grow the show really helps. We want to get to 50 episodes this year, and some of those are going to be theater movie bonus episodes as well on top of that. So like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you at the cinema concession stand.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Hey? Oh no.